See Lebanon, the country just north of Israel. There's a militant organization here called Hezbollah, which is a big enemy of Israel. Suddenly, yesterday, September 17th, we saw continuous blasts, one after another, in the areas where their pagers were. 3,000 people were injured, and it's being said that 910 people have also died. Now, after this, we see Israel doesn't stop. Israel becomes even more aggressive, and then a second wave of explosions is seen in Lebanon. Literally, I would say that every breath the Hezbollah militants take, there's an explosion. I mean, they take a breath and there's a blast. Because first, it was just their pagers that were blasted. After that, reports came out that the walkie-talkies people used were also blasted. Imagine someone is using a walkie-talkie and suddenly there's a blast. That person must have died horribly, and so this second wave of explosions that happened in Lebanon, where walkie-talkies, solar panels, radio intercoms, basically, Hezbollah militants today must be afraid of what's in the room and when it might explode. In such times, there must also be a panic that, what if this water bottle explodes too? Because if you look at the numbers in the first wave, 3,000 people were injured. In the second wave, we are seeing that over 450 people have been injured, and 14 to 15 people have been killed terribly. Hezbollah is in a deep state of shock today. Look, Iran has heavily criticized Israel, but Israel has openly declared that yes, we did all this, and you haven't seen anything yet. We can do a lot more. And this has been reiterated by both the Israeli defense minister and their army chief. A new phase of war has begun. Now look, Israel is focusing on the fact that Hezbollah uses outdated technology, intentionally, deliberately, so that it can't be hacked. Look, Hezbollah won't use the internet, apps, or smartphones. Obviously, they won't use them, because Israel's cyber defense force is so strong that they can easily hack it and extract all the information. So that's why the Hezbollah militants, these pagers are a decades-old technology. These pagers cost $23,000. Nobody in the world even buys these anymore. Only a handful of companies make them. They were using these, using radios, many other old devices and equipment. These can explode. And we have recently seen the impact of this. The world is stunned. Let me tell you very clearly. Look, China, India, Russia, US, many countries haven't issued statements, but internally everyone will be just as shocked as you are that Israel can go to this extent to meet its objectives. And if you're asking what Israel's objective is here, what does Israel want to do here? Look, the main issue here is the northern land. Let me explain. You might remember some time ago there was news that Israel and Lebanon were constantly firing missiles at each other's territory. Many reports were published on this. It had become so normal that almost every day it was happening that here you can see this northern area of Israel, the area north of Haifa port, and this southern area of Lebanon. Hezbollah militants and the Israeli army were constantly attacking each other here. And because of this, look, Israel had to face a loss that thousands of people who lived in the northern area of Israel had to be evacuated, primarily from the Golan Heights, because Hezbollah was constantly attacking so much that civilians couldn't live there. Now look, Israel's core interest here is expansion. In the end, let me tell you very clearly, Israel is an expansionist country. Israel wants to expand. This has been said by their PM, even US presidential hopeful candidates and many politicians. As time passes, as decades pass, Israel will continue to expand. The area of Israel will keep increasing. And whenever they see that their civilians are being attacked, where they were expanding their area, it's being attacked, that's where Israel's core interest lies. It's being attacked. And that's why Israel has now started focusing on those manufacturing facilities. And you can imagine, Hezbollah will buy anything today, order anything, they will verify it 50 times, check if there's anything inside that might explode tomorrow. Now, for once you'd ask, whose company's equipment did Hezbollah buy? From which factory did they import all this stuff? Hasn't their reputation been tarnished? Look, there's a whole different story going on about that. Let me explain that to you. This report first came out that whatever equipment Hezbollah purchased, radios, pagers, etc., all of this came from Taiwan or the European country Hungary. And just recently, we've seen that both Taiwan and Hungary have denied it, saying, no, our factories don't export such goods. And this statement is normal because what else will they say? Tomorrow people will be afraid to buy things from Taiwan. What if this is the box that was supposed to go to Hezbollah, and we bought it by mistake? Then, there are constant blasts. So, to save their reputation, Taiwan, Hungary, and some other companies from other countries, they are all saying, look, we are not involved here. But look, There will be an investigation into this. Most probably Hezbollah is quite embarrassed for now. Humiliated, I would use the word here. Quite humiliated that this has happened to them. Only they can tell the world where they actually bought all this stuff from. Did they buy it from some anonymous third party? Clearly Hezbollah didn't know about this and they bought all this stuff from some unknown source. And now everyone in their entire organization is panicking, wondering when and what might explode. And here I think I have to add that Hezbollah won't stop. From the articles I'm reading, this is definitely a victory for Israel. A tactical victory, not a strategic victory, I would say. Because for now, look, the first thing Hezbollah is doing is gathering all the devices they had purchased. The Hezbollah militants are going from place to place. Now here's a strange thing. There were many civilians in Lebanon, so-called civilians, who also had these walkie-talkies. They also had these pagers. Why did civilians have all this? It is also being said that the Iranian ambassador also had a pager. Why were these people carrying all this stuff? Clearly, the reality of Lebanon and Hezbollah has been exposed to a great extent. But for now, what Hezbollah is doing is gathering all the people in their groups who have pagers, anything, and taking them to one place, and most probably they will do a big blast and destroy everything. And then they will buy everything they need on a large scale. Obviously, they will need money for this. But again, anything can explode at any time. It's better to spend money and buy something new. So, Hezbollah won't stop now. Most probably, a big action will be taken from their side in the future. And this new phase of war that has started, I will keep bringing you updated videos on any updates related to this.